In day 2, we're going to continue with our factoring. This time we're going to look at the sum and difference of two cubes. So the sum, we're going to do the cube root of A, same sign, cube root of B. Then look at that, and you do A squared minus AB plus B squared. And then with the minus sign, your first binomial is going to be the same sign, a minus, but then your second factor will be all plus signs. So looking at the first one, we have a GCF first, and that's a sum of two cubes. My A from the formula up there is x. My B is the cube root of 8, which equals 2. So we have, and don't forget the 5x out in front. So this would be x, same sign, plus b, which is 2. And then we look at the x plus 2 part. You square the first term, change the sign, multiply the two together, always add 2 squared, which is 4. So we look at the next one, which is the difference of two squares, or two cubes, sorry. So my A equals the cube root of 8y to the third, which is 2y. And my B is the cube root of 27, which is 3. So we have our A minus B, which is 2y minus 3. And then I look at that binomial and I square the first, change the sign, multiply the two together, plus square the last. So it might be wise to just go over the numbers that are perfect cubes. So 1 cubed is 1, 2 is 8, 3 27, 4 64, 5 125. They're the probably basic ones. So you want to just try yours. I would rewrite this as z to the 6th plus 8. And when you take the cube root, it's like taking it to the 1/3 power. So in this one you have a GCF, so you need to factor that out. Okay, as far as what are the steps using the sum or difference of cubes formulas, you just have to take and remember that take the cube roots, the same sign, square that term, opposite sign, multiply the two together, always a plus, and then squared. So a difference is going to have subtraction sign, and then in here is going to be all pluses. We can also use a graph to help factor. So what you do is you would put this in Desmos. And when we do that, first quadrant, since it's an application, kind of looks like something like that, where this point right here is 24. Okay, so you use that and use synthetic division to find okay, then that remainder, if it's factorable, so I have a negative x squared plus 8x minus 32, which I'll factor out a negative 1. And because this is a plus down there, it does not factor any more than that. You can't, there's no way to get two things multiplied. 32 is 2 and 16, 4 and 8. 4 and 8 will not work, so that will not factor any more than it already is. You would have to use quadratic formula to find, but we only want to know and this should be a z. So we could come up with, by using the quadratic formula, two other values. If I do my b squared minus 4ac, you get 64 minus 128, and you see that that's going to be imaginary. Okay, so this graph's already done for you. So what points do I have there? I have 1, 3, and 4. So since they are already, they already gave me the factors, or the values when it's 0, you would just write it as x minus a. So we're going to just give an example of each. A difference of two squares, let's think of like x squared minus 9, factored form. Difference of two cubes. And a sum of two cubes. And this is the end of day 2.